Hello, I'm doing a video response to Amy's What These Bitches Do Wrong. And first off, I want to say that I had a chance to look at some of the video responses that were posted. And, a lot of the women were going pretty hard on her. And a lot of the men, of course, were agreeing with what she was saying. Um, the women, I think, they had some valid points as far as, you know, basically this girl Amy was basically listing how was saying how maybe you should give head more, maybe you should don't talk and don't nag as much, cook more food. And I agree with that to some extent. Like, you can't, that's not the full basis of a relationship, obviously. So I do agree with a lot of the women's responses when they say that. The men applauding her, I think it's more so out of a sexual type of thing, meaning that most of these men, they do agree with her and they probably do want to hook up with her and want to date her or whatever. But do you really want to marry somebody like that? I mean, I think typically no, you know. So I think that's probably what a lot of the women are probably having problems with, and I think that's probably what the dividing line. The women are speaking from a relationship standpoint and possible marriage, as far as the women who, responded, and the men are more so, they're probably responding from a sexual standpoint. So, but first I wanted to talk about how she mentioned her boyfriend was deceased, or her ex-boyfriend was just passed not too long ago. And first I want to say sorry about that. I just thought it was real heartless how some women were saying, oh, well, and you wonder why he's dead. Come on, I don't care. Like, certain things you just don't say, and some of y'all were just straight up bitches for saying that, and that's just wrong. I mean, I don't care what happened, if you agree with somebody or not, if you offended with what they said. You don't talk about someone's dead spouse or partner or family member. Though that's a real low blow, and that's fucked up. And you should be ashamed of yourself for ever saying something like that on YouTube, anywhere, about someone's dead, whatever. The nagging, I do agree with the nagging. I mean, I don't think it's something that anybody should do. I don't think it's just a woman thing. I think men could nag too, and sadly, it's always what a woman's not doing, or it's a woman's fault, of course. And I just think we need to see more videos, and it needs to be more attention put on what men aren't doing, because, let Amy tell it, the men are perfect, and I'm not saying that women are. I'm just saying that I think it's a little bit too much attention put on what women aren't doing. The giving head, I mean, I think that helps you, with a man, but again, like, are we talking about a relationship, or are we talking about just from a sexual standpoint? I mean, you could be a jump off and give real good head and still be a jump off. I mean, that doesn't mean that you're all of a sudden on this, pedestal because you give good head for, being this relationship or marriage consultant. I mean, it just doesn't go like that. Because if it did went like that, I'm sure Corinne Steffens, or whatever woman in porn or whomever who obviously had that skill set, would probably be in Guinness Book of World Record of the most proposed woman ever, if that was the answer. So I think she needed to, go into a little bit more in depth on what she meant by just giving head, because just giving head is not the answer. The cooking, I mean, everyone loves to eat. Everyone needs to eat. The cooking, I do think helps, but again, I think that's not what's going to keep a man happy completely with you. Again, and some people have already said this, if a man wants to go away and if he wants to sleep around, if that's in his nature, that's what he's going to do. I don't care who you are. You could be You could cook real good. You could give real good head. You could never nag him. You could nag him all day. It doesn't matter. If he wants to go and see someone else, and a lot of times, a lot of people don't admit, a lot of these men still got feelings for their exes, or baby mamas still be around who they still hitting, and a lot of this stuff you cannot control anyway. You can't control who a guy sleeps with. You can only work on you and control you and be the best you in a relationship. If you in a relationship. Um, I do agree with the whole giving space. You know, like I personally don't like nobody under me like that all the time, and I'm sure it's a lot of men out there who don't like when women are, even their girlfriends are around them all the time. But as far as the clubbing, it's nothing wrong with going out to the club, man or woman. But again, I think if that's all you're doing, then it probably would be a problem. If you're in a relationship, you know, or period, it's not a good look if you're always in the club. Period, no matter who you are. But I don't think that's you should just let somebody. I mean, first off, the whole letting. He's going to do what he wants to do anyway. So it's not a matter of what you say goes. But I do think a woman should always defend herself and speak for herself. I just think it's the way you do it. Like, you should let a guy know how you feel about him clubbing all the time. And if he keeps doing it, then that just means he's not for you. Then just keep it moving. Let him flirt with other women. Again, like, if that's what he wants to do, then that's what he's going to do. You know, like, women, I do agree as far as women, we can't really, you don't have a lot of say on what a man does with other people, and that is sucks, because no matter how much energy or whatever you put into a relationship, if that's what he wants to do, if he wants to flirt and see and sleep with and creep and all this with other women, I mean, it's just up to you to know that you got to move on, or it's just up to you to decide whether or not you want to stay. And I'm not saying the girlfriend or the wife is never at fault if a man goes out and cheat, you know, but I'm saying a lot of the times, particularly, you know, in Detroit where I'm from, or anywhere, you know, if that's what he wants to do, then honey, that's just what he wants to do. I mean, you just have to decide if you can deal with that or if you can't. For me personally, I can't, but some women, obviously, that's not their breaking point, but to each his own. And that's all I wanted to say. You know, I agree partially with her video, and then, you know, some parts I don't agree, but also I agree partially with some of the women who responded, and partially I don't agree. The men, I just think they just looking at it as, you know, she probably be a real good script. I mean, sorry, get mad, whatever you want to say. That's just how I feel. A lot of men who are applauding her, it's typically because they see her, in my belief, this is my opinion, you know, I believe that they probably looking at her as, you know, like she would be a good jump off, or would be, I don't know, somebody to go to jail for them or something. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. You can comment, rate, subscribe, tell me what you think. And I know most of the time I'm singing, but I had to say something about this video. But yep, thanks for watching. Bye.